brick houses.
In Nova Scotia, there is a Ellie Shaw brick plant, although the transportation of the brick may be what's keeping them from having brick in this area. At the lake, so we're leaving the traditional camping community at Cherry Brook Lake Bloom. Now, where you see these boxes on the left, that's where the local residents would collect their mail. Now, if you take a look for a minute to the right, down in that area, that is where you'll find more black families, in particular the Starkses. Now, these here homes on the right, these here are mixed people. Although these here, particularly 4 homes on the left, these here are owned by black families, as you can tell by the gentleman on the right on mine already. Now, the subdivision to the right, that would be a mixed subdivision. Although African Nova Scotians do live down there, as well as African Nova Scotians also live in this subdivision, but on this street here on the left. Now, the road that we're traveling on now is known as Montague Road, named after Colonel James Montague of the Jamaikan Maroons. Now I don't have the statistics on crime, although if you go home and you Google the Halifax Herald, every Tuesday they print the crime statistics for the past week and year to date. So, although this here is something that I did find at the Black Cultural Center. This here is about the black population here in Nova Scotia. Although, according to the provincial government, the black population in Nova Scotia is just around 19,000. Although you talk to Dr. Bishop and others, they're going to dispute that. Yeah.
They would say it's higher.
Yes, they would say it's higher. And Dr. Elliott Clark, one of the people profiled on the little bookmarks that was making their way around, he says that his statement was that the government understates the black population because so they don't have to give as much representation. Now, as we continue on with the tour, we will be traveling against our afternoon rush hour traffic. So the traffic on the left, that there is everyone heading home from work. Afternoon rush hour is from about 4 to 6 local time. Yeah. Novis Scotia. And the exchange rate changes daily, and I believe today $1 American is worth $1.10 Canadian, around there.
That's about the change if you want to mark the new one.
Yeah. The Amero.
Yeah.
The speed signs that you saw, those are in kilometers per hour, not miles per hour. And I believe a kilometer is 0.6 of a mile. Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
Pretty nice.
This is a really bad translation of Big Mom. Now, when the black loyalists arrived in the 1780s, there was a rich white man by the name of Creighton that had a farm there. He had black people living on his property, working on his farm, but we do not know if they were free or enslaved black people. Now, the city of Dartmouth, where we are now, is known as the City of Lakes. and there are 22 major lakes within the Dartmouth city limits. As you can see, it's quite a popular paddling and rowing spot, and many of the athletes associated with have exclusively private paddling and rowing clubs on Lake Banook and Lake Mi'kmaq have gone on to international events, and they've also hosted international events here on Lake Mi'kmaq and Lake Banook. Once you get past these trees, you'll see a better look at Lake Banook. Now, before refrigerators were invented, they used to harvest ice here in Lake Banook. And they would be stored in warehouses where you see these apartment buildings on the left. Now, due to discrimination and other forms of employment, when it came to ice harvesting, white, black, or Mi'kmaq, if you could pull those big chunks of ice straight up through, you would get the job, white, black, or Mi'kmaq.
Yes. Go through there. Big man.
Arguing with something here, you know, that's right.
And you can see an international event going on to the right. Military exhibit and the Africa exhibit upstairs in the Black Culture Center. As we continue on with the tour, we're going to be heading off to Seaview Copper, the former Black community of Africville. Now, during the morning rush hour, there are 2 lanes heading into the city, 1 lane heading out. During the afternoon rush hour, as you can see, there are 2 lanes heading out, 1 lane heading in. Grant by Queen Victoria. Now, just since the late 1800s, early 1900s, the city, on behalf of big business, wanted the land that the Africville residents had. Big business at the time was the railroad. So the city started to do things to try to get the citizens of Africville to leave. Now, you can imagine, behind us downtown Halifax, ahead of us Africville. So the first thing they did was they expropriated some land right through the center of Africville, thinking for the railway tracks, thinking that the coal cars rumbling through would drive the Africville citizens out. That didn't work because the coal cars would come rumbling through Africville. The coal would fall off the cars. And the parents would send the children into the tracks to collect the coal. So that sort of backfired against the city. So the city's trying to scratch your head. Okay. The railway tracks right through Africville didn't work. Okay. Well, between downtown Halifax and Africville, we'll put in a mental hospital and a prison. That will get rid of the Africville citizens. That didn't work because the citizens of Africville started getting jobs at the mental hospital and the prison. So that sort of backfired against the citizens of Africville. So the railway tracks didn't work, the mental hospital, and the prison didn't work. So after that, they decided, well, we'll put in an abattoir or a slaughterhouse downwind, thinking that the smell from the stench and the rendering blowing through Africville would drive the citizens out. That didn't work because the citizens of Africville started growing pigs and taking them up to the slaughterhouse to make them some So the railway tracks didn't work, the mental hospital and the prison didn't work. The slaughterhouse didn't work. So in 1954, okay, I think it was 1954. In the 1950s, the city said, okay, those other things didn't work. Well, we'll put in a dump even closer, thinking that the rats coming in would drive the citizens of Actonville out. That didn't work, and the citizens of Actonville started going to the dump and scavenging and refurbishing some of the stuff, and even reselling some of the stuff. No! So that didn't work. So in the late 60s, early 70s, the city expropriated the land.
Repeat this, right?
So in the late 60s, early 70s, the city expropriated the land, or they went to the legislature and rezoned it from residential to commercial, or they found a legal way to steal it. Then they relocated the Actonville residents to 3 separate public housing projects. So there's the Walgrave Park public housing project that we just passed back there on the left. The UAS Square public housing project, and that's going that way. That's going that way. Here, I can start it on this side. There you go. And the Halifax Club public housing project. Now, the harbor that your folks sailed in today, the Halifax Harbor, is the world's 2nd largest natural harbor in the world. The largest being in Sydney, Australia. Although the Halifax Harbor is the world's largest harbor by water volume, it is ice-free all year round, which makes it very good for the shipping industry. I don't know if you saw the aerial photograph of Actonville upstairs, but there's another one making its way around. The bridge that we're passing under, that bridge is not in the photograph. The reason that they wanted the land was, well, for the bridge, as well as for the container pier coming up, that will be passed in about 2 minutes. The shipping industry in the city of Halifax, that is a $400 million a year industry for the Port of Halifax. The park here on the right is Seaview Park, and each year the former Actonville residents come back and have a big family reunion here at Seaview Park. The road that we're on now used to be called the Service, simply called the Service Road. To make amends with the citizens of Actonville, the city, this past couple of weeks, they renamed it the Actonville Road. And you take a look there to the left, to the right, where you saw that backhoe back there. Well, that there is where the Seaview United Baptist Church was located. Here, as the church was the center of the Black Community, during the expropriation, the citizens of Actonville woke up one Sunday morning, walked down here, and they found out that during the night, the city had bulldozed the church into the Halifax Harbor. Now, that there was one of the ways for them to get rid of the citizens of Actonville. You folks are familiar with Duke Ellington?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, his second wife, Mildred Dixon, was born in Actonville. And Sophisticated Lady was written about her. Also, there's a handout making its way around. In it, there's a picture of a man by the name of George Dixon. At one point, George Dixon was the most famous black man in the world. Why? He was the first black man to win any prize fighting championship. He was the first black man to win any prize fighting championship. I believe it was 1890, he won the featherweight championship of the world. Now, George Dixon is accredited with inventing shadow boxing as well as the suspended punching bag. Now, when Joe Lewis was making his way through the city of Halifax, they had him up at a nice posh hotel in downtown Halifax. Actually, I believe it was the Lloyd Nelson Hotel. He was out and about, and Joe Lewis didn't see any black people. He inquired about that, well, where all the black people at. So to accommodate him, they hastily relocated Joe Lewis from the hotel to Actonville, and actually put him up at a Stella Dixon house, which Joe Lewis liked very much because Stella Dixon was a relative and a descendant of George Dixon. And he was up on his boxing district. Street down there. And, right on the way to Canada.